I was like, I don't know if I want to say the intro anymore. I feel like we're at the point now where it's like, but it's so legendary, right? It's not really that legendary, but it's just like we say it.
Welcome everybody to the podcast.
Yeah, whatever. All right, let's get into the point. But first, before we get into the point, I do want to say that UFC 296 happened. And
it's the worst card on the planet Earth.
Really? You think so? You thought it was the worst card on the planet Earth? I don't think so, but we'll talk about it in a second. But I do want to say that this is going to be the last podcast of 2023. Next week is Christmas, so obviously no podcast. The next week is going to be New Year's. There's no fights until January, so we're going to take the 2 weeks off with the Talk About podcast, but we're not taking an actual break again. Talk About That is going to be returning this week, right before Christmas. There will be another episode of Talk About That. It's been a long time, since before Talk About Tournament 1. I think we haven't had a Talk About That since August, and it was August, sometime after August 4th, because that's when we had Hobson on, and unfortunately that interview sucked because of the audio. But it was only a 12-minute. It wasn't really a podcast, more of an interview. But still, last podcast of the year.
What are we gonna do?
What a year! And I'm not gonna talk about it too much because we had our 1 year anniversary. But our 1 year anniversary is basically at the end of the year. So it was a great year for 2023, our first year. I mean, we already have discussed this in the podcast where we went over our 1 year anniversary, but. Incredible year, and now it's time to see what UFC is going to bring to us next year. We're going to talk about the UFC
rewards.
Yeah, the Year-End Awards. We're going to talk about 2023's Year-End Awards. We have like 7, I think, topics.
Yeah, who cares about the UFC rewards? We got to talk about rewards.
Yeah, awards, bud.
Yeah, I said awards.
Oh, I thought you said rewards.
Awards. Now you make me say it wrong. I said rewards.
Yeah. But, all right, let's get into UFC 296. So, first, let's start with the prelims. The prelims were great.
Leon Edwards is just funny on interviews.
Huh?
Like with the...
his post-fight?
The one girl, Nee, or...
Oh, yeah, that
Nina,
was... that was a great interview.
That just
was
came
like,
out today.
He was like, what am I doing here? Yeah, his laugh.
How was he laugh? He's like...
His laugh is freaking wild.
I don't know what he's doing.
But the prelims were great. Actually, I'm going to open this up because... I want to see the prelims. But it was a great prelims and early prelims. You could probably argue that the early prelims and the prelims were better than the actual main card, according to Riley especially. But, yeah, I didn't watch the early prelims too much, but I did watch, obviously, the preliminary card.
The what? The Premier League card? The Premier League card.
No, it's preliminary.
Preliminary?
God, we're
preliminary.
Hit him with the spelling bee. Talk about spelling bee. Spell red.
R-E-D-E-R.
Come on.
What?
Beat's the man.
That wasn't Beat. That was the
it was
guy that's
Beat.
called... No. That was the other guy. Two Teeth Mary. R-E-D-E-R. You gotta keep that in there.
I knew you were going to say that.
I-D-E-R.
Cody Garbrandt with a good knockout over freaking Three Hairs. Charlie Brown went to bed. But I hope there's a reason. It's kind of bad.
Backwards.
Is there a
mohawk.
reason? Is there a reason? There's a reason.
It's like a mohawk,
Is there a
but
reason?
it's like vertical.
Is there a reason? It's horizontal.
Horizontal, I mean. Back to the math class. Thought we were in spelling bee.
You think there's a reason? There's got to be. There's no way he just went to the barber and he was like, "Yeah, I want a 0 and then give me a 3."
Let me get a 0 all the way back and then give me a 5 on the back.
And don't fade it.
Where did he go?
But he got faded last night by Cody Garbrandt when he got freaking slept.
Got a little fade.
Little right hook. Garbrandt looked good, but he calling out Figueiredo. I'll watch the fight. Don't get me wrong, but I think that's a bad call.
You didn't even watch the Figueiredo fight yet. Still,
I know. It's the only fight of this year.
What's his name? Rob Font.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt this program to give you the official sponsor of Talk About, Rev BJJ. You guys can start your Jiu Jitsu career. You guys can also start your cardio and kickboxing classes. All you got to do is go to RevBJJ.com right now and start your Jiu Jitsu career. back into the program. Yeah, but that's the only fight of the year I haven't watched, so that I actually need
This
to
is
watch.
actually better.
But Andrade,
I like how people do this.
yeah, but it looks like crap. Just do it how I'm doing it. Actually, with these mics,
This thing doesn't stay. It's like
Aldana.
Emmett.
That fight, dude, though, for real, incredible.
Oh.
Aldana against Rosa, fight of the night for sure. Maybe even fight of the year contender.
For the year.
We could talk about it. But Aldana and Rosa was a great fight. I thought Aldana didn't look that good. I do think that she won the first and the third round. The third round was a little bit closer. The damage to the legs, I mean, holy freaking moly.
Oh, yeah, like, well, she was just walking forward.
Both of them
Didn't
didn't even care.
get hurt.
Yeah, it was like crazy. But absolutely great fight there. And then we had, let's just move on. We got Mendenfield and Jacob.
That fight was the most boring fight I've ever seen.
So let's move on to no pictures. But we got the main card, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah. Well, Ferg's up here.
Refresh.
I don't, Jesus, you good over there?
There we go.
All right, let's start off.
Main and co-main.
Well, let's
see the faces.
Well, let's start off, ladies and gentlemen, with the freaking main card and the first fight on the main card.
Called it. Did I say knockout?
We both did. We both said not first round knockout.
Okay.
I think so. It's only one way to double check.
Yeah, let's pull it up.
All you got to do is go to Talk About Podcast.
Last time you watched that.
This?
Yeah.
No, I was watching the post fight, and I think it just went to that.
Oh. Okay. Right.
I think it's
a domination.
I think it's in the strike though.
Good. Dude, he's gonna sleep him.
Patty? Yeah. Oh. Okay, so we're a little bit behind here. Always chat. No, we did.
No, I was totally wrong with Tony.
I wasn't. I said decision. I got a lot of predictions right, Rob. No, I know, but that's
so good.
All right, hold on. And then it's like, Emmett's back. He's 55. Bad, though. Yeah, you know what? I'm going Emmett. I'm going knockout Emmett. End of the first or early second? End of the first. It was like middle of the first.
It was
BKO. Actually, no. It's crazy. I actually thought all right, we both got it,
Let's
though.
go.
Jeez, experts.
Both did it.
See,
you better subscribe, you.
I just, the main event, like, and how... All right, Patty, I said decision. What'd you say? Knockout or something?
I said Tony knockout.
First round, first minute.
Who's gonna carry the boats and the logs? Tony's the boat.
Patty was like, that interview was so
What'd he
good.
say?
When he was like,
Pull it up.
I'm going to go over that. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that was good, but let's talk about this knockout. I'll talk about it first while Riley's pulling that up. Freaking Bryce Mitchell, ladies and gentlemen. That was absolutely horrible. He got absolutely slapped. I think it was the first punch of the fight. They were literally dancing around the cage for like 2 minutes, and then that freaking right hand.
Shit on me, own a man. When I finish, Tony, I'll go over to David and say, who's gonna carry the boat, son? Who's gonna carry them? But it's not fucking him, is it?
He could have.
He is great. We talked about this.
Carry the boats on Saturday night in the octagon.
Dude, it's just
Just like-
sad.
It's just like
Sad. Yeah, just turn it off.
can't.
But look, let's start with Bryce Mitchell.
Bryce Mitchell.
That KO
Trash.
was absolutely horrible.
Retire.
Stop. Shouldn't retire.
He's
but
never
he needs to
gonna
take-
be. He's never gonna be top 5. He's never going to be top 8. He could probably be 9, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I think the highest he got is 9.
Mm.
Yeah, he's like one of those guys. But what about Emmett?
He's
Like,
a
what do you?
stepping-
Okay, let me
he's
ask
a
you this
stepping
question.
Stone.
Is
I don't know how he's freaking 18-2. How? What is
Mitchell? Yeah,
22?
16-3, I think.
16-3.
All right, but let's talk about this. Josh Emmett. What do you do with Emmett now? He's 40, but can we not lie? He has the most power in the featherweight division.
What would you do with Emmett? Holloway Emmett. And then Holloway has to get the.
Oh
title
yeah,
shot.
if he wins
Yes.
another one. I mean, he's just going through
You
everything.
can't just wait. Or he fights Rodriguez.
No, they're doing Rodriguez Ortega.
Oh.
Again. Remember that?
Yeah, the
Remember
injury.
the first time?
That was right here.
Yeah, I remember. I got the video.
Yeah, my ankle rolled.
Why?
Rolled ankle.
Why? And with the edits.
Yeah.
It's bad. But That's what you got to do. But for real, Bryce Mitchell, I don't know what you do with him next. I think you got to give him someone lower ranked. But he's got to take at least 6 months.
No, a year.
Yeah,
Dude
I mean, that was
seizing on the floor.
Yeah, that was not good. Or whatever was happening, it was not good.
No, he was seizing.
Dude, it was giving me anxiety. When I was watching that, and Rogan wasn't making it any better. He was right, though. He was like, keep him sitting.
Yeah.
But they were just making me freaking...
That was definitely...
so
it could be knockout of the year.
Oh, yeah. That was freaking crazy.
That was nasty. That was like... Couldn't get any better than that.
And then the next fight is Paddy the Baddy against Tony Ferguson, which was just a disappointing fight. The first round, Paddy just looked great. The second round, he took him down, and Ferguson just accepted the position. And then the third round was pretty much the same.
I thought the first round, Ferguson did good until the end of the first, like the last minute.
Yeah. I just think
he just still looked stiff.
He didn't throw one elbow standing up.
Yeah, one.
He hasn't thrown an elbow standing up since, like, the Gaethje fight.
When are we bringing out the blades and the shades? Against the can?
There's nothing you can do, dude. David Goggins was in the corner.
There's no saving that, man.
And then everyone, yeah.
And I know Ferguson's going to be like, shut up, everyone. I can retire whenever I want.
It's just not getting good, dude. He was 26-2.
We're helping
or 23
we're
and
helping
2
for your health. You got to retire, man.
He was 23-2, and now he's 26-10.
That's bad.
And
7-fight win streak. That would be insane. But.
And he had a 12-fight win streak.
Yeah.
I mean, he's about to get a 12-fight lose streak if he stays on the track he's going. I don't know, man.
He's got to get a win.
But who can even give him a win? Even if you get Bobby Green is like the lowest of the division, and still even so, it didn't even matter. Who else are you going to give that guy? Bobby Green, and that didn't matter, and then now you're going to
just give him a schmuck.
There's no more Bobby Green. I mean, he's top 15 material, but Patty's not ranked. Bobby wasn't ranked.
Who you got?
Who else are you giving him?
I mean, you can get a non-ranked guy.
They are non-ranked, both those guys.
Oh, give him Gordon. Just give him him. Try it.
No, he's gonna lose.
I don't know.
He is.
Just try.
A lot of people who know, like,
Jared
actually
Gordon.
the sport, like Rogan
Jared
and DC,
Gordon's
they say
good.
he's good. I'm not even gonna act like I know.
Who's good?
Jared Gordon. I've only seen him fight one time.
I've
He beat
seen him
Patty
twice.
Bimlett, though. I'll
I've
tell you
seen
that
him
for a
twice.
fact.
No, I've seen him through. No,
I
twice.
saw him against Bobby Green, but that ended with a headbutt.
Yeah.
All right, but it was sad. What do you do with Patty now? I think it's time to give him Moicano. Time to give him somebody ranked. It's time. That's 4 fights. Like,
he didn't look good that fight though.
I think he looked great in the first round. I think he just started to get tired.
But getting tired at the end of the first is not good at all.
No,
Not good at all.
Not
and
good.
If he faces like Fazeev.
Yeah, but you got to give him like his credit. I mean, he won 30-27. It wasn't even close.
Against the old fart Tony.
I know,
Ferguson.
but like still.
If he wants to be the best of the best, he can't just be like.
Well, he's also 25 years old. He's got to build himself up. You don't just get into the UFC and
He's
fight.
26.
Whatever.
Same deal, but still.
I'm just saying. I don't know. I think you got to give him a ranked guy now. It's definitely time. He's fought 4 times now. And Ferguson is like...
But if you're 26 and you're facing up against a 40-year-old Tony Ferguson, that's...
No, I'm
doesn't
not
any
saying he was going to
elbows,
lose.
And he's stiff as a board.
No, I agree with you.
Like boats and logs, then...
Yeah, it just sucks.
Nothing you can do. And you just... Decision.
Well, how about we talk about something that's...
Bobby Green finished
No,
Ferguson.
I know. That was just bad. Well, how about we talk about somebody who's probably the pure opposite of what's happening to Tony Ferguson. It's a guy who has 100% finish rate with 9 KOs.
And did you hear?
9 submissions.
And did you hear that he tore his ankle?
Before the fight, and almost pulled. That's why he had his ankle bracelets on.
Yeah.
Here's the deal.
He's a monster.
He is a monster.
He has to be next. Belly Muhammad is just boring.
He is so boring.
He's not. He doesn't deserve it now. What was that?
I have no idea. I don't know, dude. I don't know what you do there. Honestly, they should just fight. I just don't. Yeah, like Belay is. He's got to be next, but like at the same time, it's like I don't know.
Yeah, Belal Muhammad.
But now Rockman, I think they just got to fight each other. They're both to me like still like a half a step away. Like I still think Rockmanov needs to fight somebody who's not Like, he needs to fight
I think
Gilbert,
you- I-
Ballet, Colby, Usman.
I think you should put up Rachmanov to fight Leon.
I mean,
and
that's
then
what I want.
Have Usman fight.
Yeah, but Usman's not.
Usman fight Muhammad.
See, that's where it's not fair, though. You can't do that.
How?
Because it's not going to work that way. You're just telling Ballet, like, you got to actually think about it, though. Like,
100% rate to a 23% rate.
No,
when
no.
He has 23 wins.
No, I agree
and
with
3
you.
losses.
Yeah, you're right.
He's boring.
Honestly, I feel like I'm just
no
trying
one wants to see it.
No, I know. Dude,
it's a business, too. Like,
no, I know.
and
We all know,
like,
trust me.
yeah, after that Covington thing.
But there's even more that's like that. But regardless, you're right. I guess you're right. I think that you do.
He did deserve it before the Shavkat, that fight.
Yeah, but
Because
he just beat Goff Neal. Like, I still think he needed one more guy.
Like
Wonder Boy is
Thompson.
that guy.
Wonder
though.
Boy's good.
He really is. He
Really
really
good.
is good. And I still think if he wants to fight, he can.
He should.
Even though he's 40 freaking 1.
Yeah. Have him against Tony.
Yeah. Even Gypsy knows it's time.
Says, no. No.
Ferg. No Ferg.
Like,
Who's going to carry the boats? It's not him.
because he's on the ground.
But then, yeah, so I don't know what I don't know what the UFC's going to do. What do you think they're going to do, though? I think they're going to, because
They're going to do Shavkat Rachmanov.
they have to, dude.
Yeah.
But because Edwards says
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
to Ballet.
But he still don't call the shots.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. If you do Rachmanov, right, against Leon, which, by the way,
What a fight.
you want to get me hyped about this division again? That's how you do it. Like, dude,
Rachmanov is young. Leon is only 32, young.
in his prime,
And
he's
his
so
freaking
good right
prime.
now.
Like,
too.
he was locked. He was just like,
dude, his eyes were freaking.
he's literally a lizard.
He is.
He's like a lizard.
He's a freaking
And he's just
in
walking
your
him
face,
down.
dude.
And he just literally stays his distance.
God, it's
Like,
gonna
you
be
can't
great.
hit the man.
But if you do Rachmanov, what realistically
And you
do you
can't-
do with Ballet?
You can't be wrong. You can't be mad with Colby because if you were in Colby's situation, what do you do against Leon backing up and you're not going to hit the man?
What are you talking about?
No, I'm just saying, like, people are mad of Colby's performance, but, like, it's hard to hit the guy.
Oh, I mean, he's the best in the world.
He just outclassed
Yeah,
him.
he can't be mad. I mean, it's just is what it is. It's just Leon was the better guy. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know what you do. Covington wants to fight. I don't know if you watched the post-fight press
Yeah,
conferences.
Wonder Boy.
That is the biggest, which, by the way, fine.
The
But that's
reason
the
why-
biggest example of give me the easiest guy in the
yeah.
top.
'Cause
And then they asked
they
about
were trying to give
Rachmanov.
him yeah.
And then it doesn't make sense. Actually, that makes 100% sense. If he wants to be champion again and beats Rachmanov,
I would be the same.
No,
I
of
would
course.
say the same
No,
thing.
of
I
course.
would say no.
I'm agreeing. But, like, we know what's going on here.
Oh.
Okay.
You're scared of him.
Okay. As long as we're just on the same beat.
Yes.
But I would be too. But if
Any
you're
other
trying to be the
way
champ, but when you're like, I won the fight, like, it's just so hard to like, dude.
Guess he
But we'll
just-
get to him. Let's get the co-main at least, which was a pretty one-sided.
It was boring.
It was a one-sided.
It wasn't boring, but it was worse than I was thinking. I thought it
thought,
was going to
yeah.
be fight of the night, but it wasn't.
Roy Vale
was
started to wake
Albino.
up in the 5th round, but
And
he just, I mean, again, got outclassed. That's what it was. The better guy was surely Pantoja. We knew it
Yeah.
from the first round.
And Royval was just like,
Now it's going to be interesting
Like,
because
what is he doing?
if Albazi wins, now you have a new guy, which.
Bozzy.
But if Moreno
Gotta
wins,
walk off.
but if Moreno wins, you got to just do it again. That's going to be 4, or 3, technically 4. But are you even going to be mad at that Moreno Pantoja again?
Bozzy.
Would you be mad at that though? Moreno Pantoja
No.
3 or 4. I mean, come on.
No.
It's just like it is what it is. Those are the best guys. Unless we want to get Demetrius Johnson back. Dude. dude. Holy Amir Bosley. He's a clown. But pretty good co-main event. On to
Gordon Jr.
Malcolm X. The main event.
Oh, my goodness.
We already kind of said what we thought, but yeah, it was a pure outclass by Leon Edwards. And I got the prediction right. And I promise I really believed it at the end. I really believed it when I was saying it. I thought maybe decision. Outclass. What do you do next with Leon? We already said you got to do Rachmaninoff, I think, or maybe Ballet, depending on what they end up doing. But I would much rather, as a fan, want Rachmaninoff, and I think he deserves it more. I think Ballet needs to do one more thing. He does. The decisions aren't working, and Gilbert did get hurt in the first round. I'm not using it as an excuse. I'm not taking it away from his victory. I'm just saying the fight probably would have been a little bit different, if he wasn't had a blown shoulder in the first round or whatever. But it is what it is. And Ballet didn't even cause that. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt this program to give you the official sponsor of Talk Bout, Rev BJJ. You guys can start your jiu-jitsu career. You guys can also start your cardio and kickboxing classes. All you got to do is go to revbjj.com right now and start your jiu-jitsu career. Back into the program. It was Gilbert.
Enough Bilal talk.
Yeah, but
Sean Strickland.
Dude, oh yeah.
Skirmish.
Okay, we need to talk about this because we didn't even say this. The UFC seasonal press conference also happened, and we never have talked about this on the pod.
Yeah,
that podcast,
good. It was
or that press conference got me so hyped for the next three. Fight. But now I am the most hyped for Sean Strickland and Dracus Duplessis. I can't believe it.
Not Dracus.
No, dude, he's gotten me pumped too. Yeah. He's just a clown. He sucks. But he's so he's
so bad.
The way he talks is just hilarious.
No, he's not.
Funny. No, I don't like him. I hope Strickland wins.
Strickland's going to literally knock him out of this freaking world.
I don't know if he's going to knock him out. I think Strickland maybe 5 rounds.
Imagine.
But we'll talk about it when it's time.
Slept. Oh, I'd feel the best in the whole entire world. I would be so happy.
I will say.
That would be my life.
Strickland.
I'm done.
Strickland is growing on me. Yeah, I don't agree with all the things he says, obviously. But he is freaking hilarious, and he literally is so crazy.
He's messed up in the head.
I knew when they were next to each other taunting, they were going to get into an altercation. I thought of it in my head. I was like, there's no way. There's no way. He's so crazy.
White put him
yeah, I know.
He said it was the dumbest thing.
Yeah, he goes, what asshole.
What idiot.
Dude. But you got to do what you got to do. You got to sell the foot. He knew what he was doing.
Oh. That whole thing, I felt like it was meant to be. Yes.
Oh, meant to be?
It
wasn't.
Them being next to each other, Dana White knows what he's trying to do.
I don't think so. Because he is true when he says that if the fighters fight and it's not in the cage, the commission gets involved. There's like a whole thing. There's like legal action. That's why they even said, was there because Dracus could press charges. It's a assault outside. It's a real life. It's not a professional fight. So now you're getting into a whole other ballgame. Now, obviously,
still in the fight.
They're about to fight. Yeah, so that's why it's not going to be. But
it's not going to be that.
But look what happened with Covington and Masvidal. It was all that.
Different.
That was a sucker, and that was a sucker punch
and
behind,
knocked his teeth down his throat.
Wasn't even looking. Whole bunch of stuff. Jesus, that
Jorge comes back. Jorge, Nate Diaz.
No, you know the fight I want to see Jorge Masvidal in?
Ew.
I want to see Jorge Masvidal.
Leon?
In a BKFC ring. Against freaking Platinum Mike Perry.
No, I want Nate Diaz.
No. We already saw Nate Diaz. That already happened. Mike Perry against Masvidal in a dude, he has already called him out. And by the way, bare knuckles, fun to watch a little. I don't mind it.
I want Platinum Mike Perry against Curtis Blades.
Dude.
I'm kidding now.
Chris Curtis, though. Chris Curtis and bare knuckle.
Oh, my God. He would be so
Dude, even Strickland. Oh, Izzy Pajeda.
Kimbo
Slice. No, Pajeda. Oh.
my God. Nasty.
All right, let's get to our year-end awards.
Max Holloway.
Yeah, that would be mean too. But he would
He
just...
doesn't get knocked down.
It's crazy how he's never been dropped. He's got to be studied.
Yeah.
He ain't getting studied. His career is crazy, though. 29, and he's like already the
his
GOAT.
resumes.
He's literally GOAT already status.
And he's young.
You think he's top 20, probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in featherweight, he's top,
5.
yeah, maybe even
3.
3.
Yeah.
Volk, Aldo, Holloway, probably.
McGregor.
Run. Greatest run, but not greatest ever. Didn't have any defenses. Best run ever, not even close. Holy. Ever.
Yeah, that was
Not even just featherweight.
Mendez.
Dude, I don't get why Chad Mendes, how he didn't beat Eddie Alvarez. When I watch his pad, like, it hurts me watching. Every time I see him punch the pad guy in the ribs,
Nasty.
his power is so... I would be... If you fight him in the street, you need to figure it out. So we're going to start with the UFC Fight Night of the Year. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2023 Talk About Year-End Awards number 2. It's our second time doing this. The last time we had the new setup when we got the new setup. That was a year ago, dude.
Okay, this fight night.
Wow.
That's the only one. It's the only one. Stop it. It's the only.
Well, that's
freaking
going to be
one.
hard. You're not going to... That was like the hardest one for me.
Nah.
Yeah.
There is one.
All right, how about this?
Oh.
I'll just say the fight
All right,
night and then...
All right, got it.
All right, let's start with the UFC Fight Night of the Year. I just came up with his on the spot, so let's hear it. What is your... We're going to do honorable mentions, one per thing. Riley doesn't have it, I think, for all, but I'll say mine.
I got it. It's going to be Max Holloway versus Korean Zombie. What a fight, and what the walkouts for the Korean Zombie was insane.
You know what? Not
One
bad.
of the best
I take it
walkouts
back.
I've seen.
Ever. Yeah, that was great.
And that fight was good.
Well,
And the knockout was
really
nasty.
good. Yeah, but it wasn't a good fight.
It was.
Holloway pieced him.
Not really. Holloway was wobbled.
Yeah, I guess. But let's be real. Who was wobbling at the end?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
He was Mr. Carman.
it's true.
But that was...
Flying around.
But to get KO'd like that and still get the retirement that he got was awesome. That was in Singapore, UFC Fight Night Singapore. But, okay, so here's my UFC Fight Night of the Year. So my honorable mention is Petr Yan against Merab Dvalishvili Fight Night. And here's why. Not because of the card. And definitely not even because of the main event. Specifically because of what the venue was. Do you remember?
Oh, it was like a boat.
No, it was the hotel.
Yeah, I know. It's like
Dude,
the circle.
it was awesome.
It was
I loved it. I loved it. And even though the fights weren't all great, there were still some good fights. It just made it fun to watch. So honorable mention. Now, my UFC Fight Night of the Year goes to UFC Nocha. Shevchenko versus Grasso 1. I just felt like... Or Shevchenko versus Grasso 2. That fight was a draw. It was a good fight. But the card and the atmosphere, the Mexican fans in Vegas, and the way they did the ceremonial weigh-ins outside, just the whole week, that was like the fight night of the year. But the reason why this was the most difficult for me, there wasn't any fight nights this year that really stood out to me. I actually went through it all.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a fight night that stood out to me. I went through them all, and those were the two I picked out, and I had to figure out which one was the better one.
So it was the Yan and Merab and
Honorable mention, and then
Shevchenko.
and Grasso too.
Grasso too.
Yep.
That was a good fight.
So we move on to the submission of the year. Riley, do you have an honorable mention for this one?
Yeah, I do. I have a couple. It was Grasso subbing Valentina. That was nasty.
That was great.
Honorable mentions: John Jones and Cirogan, first round comeback. Blackshear with the twister
Oh, yes.
nasty.
That was a great one. I didn't have that one. I forgot about that one.
Rachmaninoff Bulldog choke was just like, it was mean.
There you go. That was a good list right there, brother. Little bounce back after the fight night one. What? Even though it wasn't even a bad one. It was actually probably better than me, to be honest. To do it off the spot like that was actually good because fight nights are not easy. But anyway.
I remember watching it. It was good.
Huh?
I remember watching it. It was good.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
Almost in the morning. Was it in the morning?
It was weird. I think it was 8 a.m. We didn't watch it together, though. I forget where I was, but I remember when we texted
afternoon.
Yeah, maybe it was. It was definitely a weird time because it was in Singapore.
Yeah.
But anyway, my submission of the year, my honorable mention is Alexa Grasso against Shevchenko, UFC 285. And my submission of the year is John Jones against Sirigan, UFC 285. Both the same card, both the main event, co-main event submissions. Jones comes back to sub Sirigan the way he did. It was like a letdown from a fan perspective because I wanted to see a really good fight. It was just a
statement.
But it was just, I mean, come on. And Grasso looked
back.
so good against Shevchenko in the first fight.
White face.
And
pause.
I'm
saying.
But yeah,
bad.
It was. It was literally circulation cut off. Like, good Lord. But all right, so we agreed pretty much on that.
Yeah.
And my honorable mention was the Bulldog choke. And then also, this was just, I just want to throw this out there just to give light. It's not really like submission of the year, but just because it just happened. Lipsky against O'Neal, the transition from rear naked to the triangle transition into the arm bar last night was so nasty.
Oh.
Remember I was like freaking out about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was freaking. That's just like I wrote it down. But.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jones gone is my submission of the year. Honorable mention, Grasso Shevchenko. We move on to the knockout of the year. Holy. I had 5 written down, but I won't tell you the other 3. We'll keep it a mystery. But I'll tell you my...
I have honorable mentions.
Honorable mention in my... You want to list all of our honorable mentions?
Well, I have 2.
Okay,
honorable
so
mentions,
we'll list them.
I have Poirier Gaethje.
That's a good
Gaethje knocked out Poirier.
UFC 291.
I have... Islam knocking out Volk.
UFC 294.
And my knockout of the year, Izzy versus Alex Pereira.
Dude, that had to hurt writing that down. That is the most sad I've ever seen Riley, other than, well, no, that was pretty bad. I mean, Hamzat's never lost, so we haven't seen that yet. That was bad. My honorable mentions for knockout of the year, for the ones I wrote down, are Tarsayuki against Dariush.
Oh, God, yeah. That's an honorable mention.
Makhachev against Volk, 2.
Yeah.
O'Malley against Sterling. That was so beautiful. The right.
That was a...
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it wasn't flat out KO, but it's an honorable mention.
I really didn't put it on there, but I would put it on there if it was counted.
Dude.
That counted.
It's just an honorable mention.
Yeah.
But...
That was nasty.
My main honorable mention that I wrote is Josh Emmett against freaking Bryce Mitchell. I'm sorry. I don't care if it happened last night. That was the meanest right hand knockout I've ever seen in my life. In my life.
Yeah.
Right hand. Just pure. That was just pure, like,
strength.
KO.
Like.
Dude.
And he was seizing after
The crazy thing is, though, I, like, can say this with full hand on the Bible. We knew it. We actually said it and looked at each other and said the power might do it. And he was a freaking 2-1 underdog.
Yeah.
How about that? And my knockout of the year, it's not even a question. I think this might have been one of the best podcasts of the year as well. I'll never forget walking out that door and sitting in this chair and you staying in there when Alex Pereira got knocked out by Israel Adesanya. I mean, that was just... I remember, like, you saying something to me, and then it just happened. And we don't even have it on... We didn't record.
I think I said, he's got him.
Yeah. And yes, and right as he was getting him.
He's got him. And then I was just like... Oh.
And the celebrate. It was just... Couldn't have been any better. Knockout of the year. We move on to the event of the year, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be honest with you. This wasn't that hard for me. I only had two. Yeah, pay-per-view of the year. I only had two.
I have two. They're all like,
I didn't think they were that great.
They're
There was a
all
lot
mid.
of great fights, but card.
Yeah.
Not as good as the last year, I felt. There wasn't a landslide winner, but there was two that were really close for me. Riley, what was your honorable
I
mention?
literally put down, I don't have one, but probably UFC 294 because of Hamzat
Okay.
and the Volk.
Yeah.
And freaking Islam. And then honorable mention, I have UFC 291 BMF belt.
Okay, so here's what I think about those. Those were the ones I was the most hyped for this year, no question. But I don't think they were the best cards. The best cards for me, my honorable mention was UFC 285, Jones, gone. Shevchenko, Grasso, Bo Nickel knocked out his guy on that card. Ian
card.
Gary was on there. There was a lot of good fights. So I picked that as my honorable mention. But the card of the year, if you look on it if you look at it on paper, you can't go over this one. And it's UFC 295. Pereira against Yuri. That card, every fight on the main card was a KO, TKO in the first or second round.
It was good.
That never happens.
That was a good card.
And think about it. I mean, it's debatable, but coming off my opinion, that means both years, the UFC in New York in November was the best card of the year, and we were at UFC 281, which was, in my opinion, a landslide, the best card of the year. That's why I feel like this year there wasn't a landslide. Let's make sure we're still recording.
They're like all mid.
They kind of were.
But the build-up was good.
Dude, the most hype I was, well, for Charles until he got pulled. Yeah. Honestly, UFC 289 was like the worst card of the year, Nunes and Aldana, but I think I felt the best that night because of Charles.
Yeah.
Dude, I felt
Feeling
like
with your favorite
all my
fighter.
stress went, like, it was just like amazing to see it
Can't
happen.
wait for the next year.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
We move on to the fight of the year. I'm guessing you have honorable mentions for this one.
I didn't go through all of them.
So what do you have?
Fight of the year, I got Islam Volk 1.
UFC 284.
That was freaking crazy.
That was insane.
Like, it was like close, but not.
Dude, it was so
It
freaking.
was close. I thought Volk won, and you said after the fight you thought Islam won.
Yeah, and then I watched it again. I still think Islam won. But wait, do you remember where we were when we watched that fight?
Were we upstairs?
No, we were here. And we were, we were here and we recorded our reaction because it was insane. We were in here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Dude, that was crazy. That was freaking crazy. Do you have any honorable mentions?
I'll probably know some of them.
Yeah, well, my honorable mention is, or here's two that I put down. I put Shevchenko Grasso 1. I thought was a really, really good fight. The first fight. I don't think that's fight of the year.
Moreno Pantoja. That's an honorable mention.
Gaethje Fiziev. I also put on there.
That was good.
But my honorable mention is Moreno against Pantoja 2, UFC 290. Dude, that was amazing. And my fight of the year is Islam against Volk, number 1, UFC 284. That is just like one of the best fights I've ever seen. It is literally the closest fight I think I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It was so good. Literally the number 1 against the number 2, pound for pound. That was just great. Double champ. Like, you can't write it better than that first fight.
It's good. It was crazy.
Female fighter of the year.
Grasso.
Alexa Grasso?
Yeah. She won the belt and defended the belt, and I don't see who else did better than
because
that.
Nunes retired, and Wei Li only fought once.
Didn't win the belt this year. He won it last year.
And she only defended one time against Lemos.
But it was a
performance. I know, of course. But, yeah, you got to give it to Grasso. My honorable mention, and I'm not being biased, is Blanchfield. Santos she beat, and Andrade. She destroyed Andrade. So,
nah, it's Tracy
easy
Cortez.
work. She's so dirt.
She's
not. Nah, she's not dirt, but
beat Grasso.
yeah, but come on. Apparently, there's controversy about that. That's what DC said.
Yeah, DC.
Yeah.
He watched it back in 1841. when he was double champ.
Male fighter of the year, ladies and gentlemen. This was so hard. This was the hardest for me.
Male fighter of the year?
For my
How
list.
is it hard? Islam.
Islam?
Yeah.
You have any honorable mention?
Well, Leon, Alex Bejeda. Who else?
You can't give it to Alex though.
Yeah, just honorable.
But yeah.
Because he's lost.
Because he didn't just lose. My honorable mentions are Tom Aspinall, comes back from his ACL injury, knocks out the guy, Spivak or whatever. Spivak Jr., the other one. They're all like the same. There's like 3 of them that are like the same.
Nobody.
But then he comes back and knocks out frickin' Sergey Pavlovich, which I just did not expect.
That could have been...
That could have been knockout of the year, too. That's an honorable mention, for sure. Another male fighter of the year that I is honorable mention, and he was so close to being in. This is where it gets like, and I think you forgot about him, but Sean Strickland, dude. He fought 4 times, I think, this year, at least 3, and he beat Israel Adesanya in the most dominant way and won the belt. How's he can't? He got to be in the conversation.
For sure.
But
Sean freaking Strickland.
This was what? Strickland? Is that what he said?
No, I tried to say Sean freaking Strickland. I said Strickland.
Jeez.
He's stripping it.
But Islam Makhachev is my honorable mention. This was so hard, just so you know. It could go anyway.
Dude, there's more.
Because Islam
Pantoja.
Holy. I forgot about that. But listen, Islam, he had a really, really close fight against Volk, but it's Volk. But then he head kicks him. But if you want to give Volk the whole 11 days notice thing, that plays maybe a little bit into it. I just think you got to give it to Edwards. He dominated Usman and then dominated Covington this year. 10 rounds of pure domination. He might have lost 1 round out of them all.
Islam beat Volkanovski twice.
Yeah, and head kicked him in the second. But I just think dominance-wise. Yeah, no, I know, but it was the same.
Dominance-wise, knocked him freaking
No,
out.
I know. I was talking about.
But it wasn't 10 days notice. But
that's why I'm saying. It's like I didn't know. It's tough, though. It's either of those two. Has to be.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's our Talk About Year-End Awards, ladies and gentlemen. What a freaking podcast. This was a good one.
Yeah.
It felt like normal again.
Oh!
What?
Forgot.
Oh, Matt.
Michael Venom Page.
Oh, yeah, we got to talk about this before we
UFC
close on
299.
UFC 299.
Miami.
Dude.
Was it Miami?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Right before UFC 300, too. Dude.
How are they gonna... Dude, whoa. We all know who's coming back. Freaking Mac.
If it's not...
And Chandler.
If it's not him... If it's not that fight, what else could it be?
It has to be.
Unless they do Charles.
And he's training right now. He's like...
Which, by the way, Charles is getting screwed. They're like,
he is.
He not fighting until the summer? And even Islam. When's Islam fighting? He said he wants to fight.
Islam, he does. I don't like anybody in the division. I want to move up.
The thing is, like, he's just gonna beat everyone. So good.
I hope he just gets knocked out to the freaking Mars. Just out cold.
But
Charles just
ain't.
freaking sleeps him. I just want it so bad.
He is if it's Charles.
Or Connor. And then... and then a beard coming back.
Could you imagine the promo?
And then Connor sleeps him.
No, dude. No, I can even. No, the promo is.
My face.
It's like. And it's all. No, listen. It's all. No, it's like. It's all black. Coming out of the mountains.
Oh, babe!
Could you?
The Eagle! Nurmagomedov.
Could you? Like, oh my gosh. He still kind of could. He'll never be able to make 155 ever again. That would be real. He's 255.
No, he's not. He can make it.
He's like 205 right now. That's what he
he's
said.
not.
He said he's like 190, I believe. 40. What do you mean, no way? Look at him.
170 is possible, dude.
170.
No, I'm saying
What
like,
if he comes
can
back
win
and just
that belt.
goes 40?
Leon.
Yeah, I actually think, man.
Leon.
I don't think anyone's going to be able to beat him in a while. Honestly, still, my prediction, No, okay, Rachmanov. That's gonna be.
Connor could beat Leon. I'm being honest, but the grappling. If it stays on the
I don't
feet,
think so.
he has a
I think
possibility.
Connor's grappling's gonna show this next fight. Actually, not the next fight, because Chandler's getting slapped in the first round.
No, he's not.
It just is gonna
He's not.
happen. But let's not do it. Let's go to the end of the year and end it on a good note.
But we've been talking about this for like
A whole year.
A whole year.
The whole year. There's like 4 podcasts. Chandler McGregor's announced.
4.
There's like 4 of them. Debate.
50 of them.
Debate. Announced. It's happening. It's coming back. He's here. McGregor. It's
Talks. Coming back next week.
dude,
No,
the
we don't.
promo. It has to be
300.
McGregor.
George St. Rush. St. Pierre coming back at UFC 300 against Nick Diaz.
No.
No, Nate Diaz versus Nick Diaz. Oh my God.
Never. John Jones against GSP heavyweight.
No.
GSP takes
John
roids.
Bones Jones against Daniel Cormier 3. DC comes back from retirement.
And he becomes
He ripped at heavyweight. Oh my goodness, what a card that would be.
Oh, what a year, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Whether you guys watch the Talk Bout podcast, Talk Bout gameplay, Talk Bout that, or even was at Talk Bout Jiu Jitsu, Talk Bout tournament #1 event. We appreciate all the support. What a great year, ladies and gentlemen. We got Onk against Walker coming up on June
5 weeks away.
Yeah, I know. So enjoy your guys' holidays. Merry Christmas.
And see you in 10 weeks.
See you in 10 weeks. Talk about that this Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's.
And peace.